Well, it's going to be a really interesting third and final map because I didn't think actually personally that OpTic would make it this far, but they've made it all the way to Nuke. I think we're all a bit surprised in the studio that
Not me.
Vitality were kind of struggling on Overpass in that way because it didn't really feel like they were kind of in the game. Whereas in Inferno looks like they're hitting their shots, great, as you pointed out, James. So much work ethic going into the tactics, the utility that they were using. They looked super sharp, but they disappeared. We're going to
I
Nuke
want
now.
to see the odds. That's what I want to see. That's what I care about. They were up there, what was it 8.89 or something crazy? I want to see the odds, man. I want to see how hard a panic button was pressed in the Pinnacle offices. Somebody probably got fired. I want to see the odds. That's what I want to see.
Are we going to get the odds though,
odds.
James?
I need these odds.
There it goes. Whoa.
Well, would you look at that?
A change of heart. I wonder why.
Would you look at that? I really hope somebody just like sold their house or something. Just like, boom! I'm ready for OpTic.
Don't do that.
241 days. Wait, let me see. Oh no, we're not there yet. Later on, it's 9 p.m. in the UK. So I've got my GMT function. Top down cam. See, look. Right now, see I've got an orange hand. So it's 9 p.m. in London. So when it gets to midnight, then the clock up there will change. And then I'll know that it's going to be 242 days.
It's a reminder.
Since we could draw on the map. So it does change. We never catch on camera, that I've noticed anyway, but it will change later on. Back to you, Dan.
Well, I mean, time to talk about Nuke.
Yeah.
So what is the actual likelihood? Now we've made it to Nuke, which I don't think many of us thought it would get to a Nuke, but now we're there. What's going to happen? You know, this is a good map from Vitality, of course. OpTic, I actually would be surprised if they could do much here, but that's the same thinking I had with Overpass. I felt like, this is a great map for Vitality. As you pointed out, they've got a good win record on it. So for me now, I just don't know where to exactly, I feel like all of those expectations have been broken. So I don't know where to go.
So I think both teams like the map. They like playing it. They pick it or whatever. I think what for Vitality is going to be the key is Apex and MBK. A map like Nuke is all about timing. Hey, my teammates are tossing smokes outside or something. Can I lurk ram? Can I sneak in through hutch? Try and get those extra little kills. And it's really important because MBK and Apex, and also Alex actually, they like to lurk. They like to do these kind of not individual plays, but information plays where they're, again, trying to sneak out plays, trying to find out information as much as possible. And Nuke is a really good map to do that if you're good at doing that. It's very important for the team.
On the OpTic side, I think, an MSL team is the right kind of team to go up against them on Nuke. They're not going to leave things to chances. You're not going to see like randomness. It's going to be meticulous. Just like we saw those mollies on the A executes that we don't see from most teams. So I think it's 50-50. For me, it's 50-50. The statistics say it is like, I think Vitality were about 80% again on this map, but they didn't win Overpass. That is just a pass. It doesn't really indicate the future. So I'm 50-50.
All right. Well, what do we think this will be won, and what do we think this will be lost? Like let's get some winning conditions on the go. Start with you, Eric.
I think for OpTic to win, they're going to have to, MSL's going to have to hit his shots again, like he was doing Overpass. You see, he came alive. He's coming alive when his team needs it the most, but I want him to be starting off hot instead of, going down 1-5, 1-6, and then...
But are you sort of talking with the AWP or just in general? Because obviously
I think in general, AWPing on Nuke is a little more difficult.
Tough, yeah.
So you can have a good AWPer, you can make an impact, but obviously if the Ts know a lot of smokes and flashes, they could just abuse the AWPer by taking lower. It's hard for AWPers to rotate in the upper bomb site and lower bomb site. So I don't think I'll see much AWPing at MSL like on the previous maps, but I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of puts it out. And I think it comes up to him. Just if he's there, if he's fragging, it makes it a lot easier for his entire team, and OpTic always does a lot better. Or actually, MSL's teams, even when he was on North, when he's doing well, their team wins. So he is definitely the X factor for OpTic to win.
Okay, James, what about Vitality? What are some winning conditions? What are some losing conditions? Like, what will go wrong?
I'm trying to consult my Abacus, Dan, but the problem is I don't know how to use it yet. What I have found out is that there are some beads on it called hypo beads. Not hyper beads, but hypo beads. Because hypo is the opposite to hyper, right? So it's like hypothermia, hypothermia. So I don't have an answer for you, Dan, because I'm on page 8.
You weren't listening to anything I was saying, were you?
Look. I mean, I'm on page 8 I haven't necessarily read page 1 to 7, but I'm hoping that I can take a shortcut. Not quite working out for me.
There's no shortcuts in life, James.
The answers are not at the back, like an elementary textbook, math book. We get OpTic moving in towards Rap, and they are going to get... Oh, this is kind of back and forth here between these two teams. Just Nico left, though. Trade's more favorable for Vitality, and they'll hold on to Rap. It's not often, actually, that you see the CTs in the pistol actually stop the Ts in Rap, but that's pretty impressive. Credit to RPK's first 2 kills. Really, that was a lot of stopping power from him.
The old stack ramp. I wonder if Vitality, if OpTic decide to go outside or upper, will they do a fast flank? Will they fall back and rotate? It's always good to know that if you're stacked somewhere, what is the secondary game plan? They don't go your way. What are you going to do together?
Okay, well, Force Spy comes out from OpTic, and they're going to try to get down the ramp, but not quite. Apex sees through all of that. There was not really enough support to guarantee a player down the vents, and peeking before the smoke blooms. Never want to do that, and that's why. They will not only get the tag, but they'll see that there's people definitely going down Secret. So Apex is in position. He's dropped down from main, and he's doing some damage. And BK's on the other side. There's no real way to get past Vitality here. They just have full information.
And position. And guns.
It's a little battle royale, isn't it? The last few survivors trying to find an exit, but there is no exit. They will be hunted down like dogs.
What kind of dog?
What kind of dog?
What kind of dog?
Poodle.
Actually, poodles
because they're more or less defenseless.
Actually, poodles are considered one of the smartest dogs out of all dogs.
Yeah, but they can't really fight, can they?
How do you know? They're vicious. Have you ever met a poodle? They're vicious.
I don't know what kind of poodles you've been meeting,
They're
Eric.
like this big. You're thinking of those small little ankle biters.
Yeah, the crap ones.
These poodles can get, you know, really big. Like
Giant poodles.
Giant poodles. They're
There's
vicious.
Steroids in the water.
Even though they have weird hair, they're vicious.
Vicious like a poodle is Alex outside. That just doesn't sound right, does it?
You've been brainwashed by media.
He's vicious like a poodle.
They just give it weird haircuts. That's why they look silly.
Poodle level brutality. Poodle levels of violence. Are you sold down on the poodles?
You guys just keep doing your thing.
I can see you with a poodle, to be honest. Can definitely see you with a poodle. If you can see Dan with a poodle, send a tweet to Dan saying, I can see you with a poodle.
I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to start a poll.
Well, I guess someone has to talk about the game, so I guess I'll do that. Vitality. Keeping those weapons from the previous rounds. Not looking too strong on paper, but we'll see what they can do with this. Get the classic door. Well, a play coming in from OpTic that you block the door and to get the smoke in there to sort of present a potential push down the vent. So you can like lurk with it, attract some attention from the CTs, maybe some utility. And there we go. We get the smokes outside as well. This time they did a better job. Oh, Alex is going to smoke the stairs, and the flash comes in. That's actually so sick from Vitality. What a coordinated play. I'm surprised Alex doesn't get more. That flash must have been slightly off, but good effort overall. They know exactly what OpTic are doing, and Apex does get a dink, but gets one straight back.
1 minute on the clock as OpTic continues to move through to the B-bomb site. They have control of control, but they don't have control of the B-bomb site. We have a player, I think, moving into a refresh. We spoke about momentum plays and eking out here and there and popping through hut. That's exactly what Refresh has done. And they've sold Vitality a fake. Oh my god. That is so satisfying, even though I'm not the one shooting. Sabu trying to stop the defuse, old school tactics, but could not find the right angle. And he's 1 versus 3. We've got off angles towards the hell position. So there's not much more for Zaiwu to do. He needs to try and hold on to his AK-47. Everybody can buy, but it's always nice to have an AK and save yourself $3,000 as well. Very important on the CT side. So some people in this situation are like, oh, well, you can buy anyway next round. Well, yes, but why not have more money? Again, his economy. I mean, the OpTic guys are short. It's their first round, but I would hold on to the AK. And he's carrying a lot of utility as well, so he would lose a hell of a lot of money if he died. Basically $5,000. Even maybe even 6 because he's got a CZ.
I would say I don't think I've ever seen the play that Apex and Alex Dolo. This play here. I don't think I've ever really seen anyone do that. They're so cool. The fact that, sure, you know, you put the smoke there. Sometimes that's just going to delay the tease because they're like, oh god, you know, there's a CT there. You throw in the smoke. Is it safe to push? We'll have to slow down. Our smokes will go away. And that's problems in of itself. But to smoke it and then Apex throws the flash so that he can peek up and they're all lined up. It's actually so godlike. I'm so sad that he didn't get more.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Great play, but the execution is just a little off.
Have you ever been impacted by the crumbling of a cookie?
Yes. Like I drop it and it is in pieces. So it's a little crumbling there, right?
That's fair enough. Because I just wondered about that, right? It's like, you know, people say that, but what consequences have there been in people's lifetimes of cookie crumbling? Is there some science? Is there some research, some papers we could look at?
Very traumatic experience when you lose a cookie.
No smoke in the molly this time towards a secret position. Ooh, will he see a leg, perhaps? Something.
I saw a toe. I saw a toe.
Oh, good timing from Zywoo.
How did he get 50 damage there? That's so nuts.
Just a tip-tap-a-roo. Ooh, defensive smokes. We've been seeing that a lot more as a CT side, and it's just really it's really difficult for teams to just push through it. So you have to wait it out. It creates so much time and space for the CTs.
Quick flash. The interesting thing is there is a way to push through it, but we'll go into that later perhaps as the play comes down lower. And once again, Vitality have all the positions that they want to defend this. BK in some scary spots here on the ramp. He's blocked from control, but you'll see if they come out the door.
Did he just get spammed?
Up as well. I'm not sure.
He did.
And BK doing great damage there as they jump out of control. There's no time to plant the bomb, perhaps. Finally unlocked as that Molotov goes away. The bomb will go down, but they know exactly where MSL is. He's trying to bounce the flash off the side, going for the frags with the AK, but this is so difficult. Already lost 80 points of health, and he'll be finished off.
I hope we got a replay of that spam.
You can see the direction of the blood on the wall would suggest that he was being harassed in the vents.
Right there. There's a spam spot.
You can see the bullets. So, yes.
Nice. That's awesome.
Well, I just found a new spam spot, guys. Every
Reset.
day.
AWP.
I once saw a simple come down the vents and spam. So someone was planning behind the silo.
Yeah.
And he came down the vents and just... But I mean, it was on him, but it didn't hit him. But it was literally, he looked right there and just clicked in the vents.
Wow.
So it's like, oh my goodness, that's a thing.
That's awesome.
4-1 to Vitality again. This is the final map. The winner of this map goes to London. Get your passports ready. Oh my god. How is that even possible? Why has he done that? Did he not hear the squeaky door open? Even, I mean, okay, well, never mind, because it's a wipeout for Vitality. We'll come back to that later. We'll see what OpTic can do with the remainder of this round. That was one of the most bizarre things I have seen on Nuke at this level. It's almost a standard in a buy round that you HE the door on a T side at this point.
I think that's what threw him off. He didn't hear the HE explosion. And he was too far away, maybe. Really hear the squeaky, or maybe someone on his team talked at the same time the squeaky opened. That's the thing. You know, you don't hear the sound cues, but maybe your teammate was talking. Who knows?
Refresh looking to get some damage here at least, but RPK's already gone beyond the angle, so there's nothing to be done. And maybe just go to T-spawn is, yeah, that's the call. You can't do anything here. Back to whence you came. Back to T-spawn. I remember, like, with older versions of Nuke where I like that Valve understood to adjust the spawn, because before you spawned way far back, and it's just an extra time in the round that's just spent running from spawn, which is on this map, considering that the spawns are actually, unlike a lot of maps, they're just sort of dead ends. There's no reason to ever be there, basically, after the round has started, unless you're saving. So you'll never be there in any other circumstance. So I'm glad that they understood that. It's a waste of time. It's like it's easy, an extra 5 seconds of running or something.
This map can be pretty dangerous with upper C.
More in the blazes. Why is his knife out? That's so weird. It's very strange. The door can be opened at any time, even if you think it's closed.
It's true.
Why is your knife out?
Sometimes you get caught with your pants down and you're wondering, why is his pants down? Well, that's another question for another time.
Yeah, you just gotta, you know, focus on, well, never mind. Interesting. 5-1 for Vitality. Again, there's so much to gain from this final map at the Cedar Creek nuclear power plant. OpTic looking to make the isotopes unstable. But so far they're well protected. The coolant is in the control of Vitality. OpTic now with some shortcomings, lacking grenades. Config with a Desert Eagle only. Big damage from grenades on the outside. Don't often see that much chunk taken these days. Love to see the carpet bombs of HE grenades outside, but yeah. An aged map, Nuke. With a facelift. It's had, what was that thing Michael Douglas had where they pulled his, like, dead skin?
Oh wait, what?
Or whatever, not dead skin, his, you know, his saggy skin on his face.
It's a facelift, right?
Is that what a facelift
Yeah,
is?
that's what a facelift is.
Oh, okay.
Or a face tuck. I don't know. It's like facelift or face tuck.
I don't know.
I can't afford it. God knows.
Sound cue. The Molotov just about hit ZywOo. He'll have to assume that his position is compromised, but he's better equipped. So he's not terribly concerned, and he has plenty of cover.
Yeah, playing this really slow, just giving some respect to OpTic and not taking any risks, which is really important. This is, you just don't want these rounds to go wrong. When you're 5-1 up, you have this chance to make things go so much better for yourself. And here comes the flash plays through, smoking off main. Apex with some spray, pretty dangerous. RPK finding himself a double there. That is fantastic. Can't really mess with that. They line it up, and that's the risk you take when you all come from one place.
Yeah, I would like the OpTic not to throw so much utility, kind of saying, hey, we're coming out squeaky door, come look at us. Map's really good at just abusing the timings of anywhere really in the map. So when you're in that spot 5-on-5 still, and you just start throwing a whole bunch of nades upper, usually, you know, CT's gonna be ready for that kind of stuff. So maybe try to go for a pick first, and then smoke at the same time. I don't know. And you see ZywOo, he's always throwing that Molotov, and the reason why is because right there, when you throw that early Molotov, it gets stuck and it creates a gap because the secret smoke is super common. So you see ZywOo constantly throwing that Molotov at the start of the round, making it difficult for OpTic to just to default to smoke outside.
But off they go, OpTic through the secret position. Plenty of legs, plenty of footsteps. Leaving DNA everywhere, going past double doors. And control's being smoked off, so they have control of control, but they have no vision, no information, no eyes. And they're trapped, and now there's a flank through secret. They are contained. There is a net around them. The net continues to tighten.
MBK,
oh boy.
Seen him work from this spot multiple times. And you can see just how strong it is. You have this control of whether you go for a headshot position. As soon as they see you, you fall back. They waste so much time. If you want to commit to the engagement because you have teammates, you can. You have an off angles towards the doors. It's a really strong spot, actually.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And I like the timeout by OpTic. Their game plan right now is not working at all. They're doing a lot of close 3-2s, 4-1s, kind of trying to overwhelm the enemy. And actually, in a map like Nuke, it's not always the best way to take a choke point because there's so many, like in upper, there's so many spots a CT can hide in and stuff like that. And you really want to work the rotations a little bit more on a map like Nuke. You know, make noise in upper, or make some noise outside while other people are lurking towards ramp, or maybe trying to have a pick towards hut or squeaky door. So maybe it's almost a little bit better to spread out and maybe slow it down instead of trying to force your way through a lot of these choke points, like heavy outside or heavy upper, that kind of thing.
And They're struggling to even get any kills. Only one player on OpTic has more than 2 kills.
That's also a big problem.
That's kind of... Oh god, it's gonna get worse.
They do the same thing. They're just trying to force these.
Oh no. MSL with an extra kill, but... Oh, it's just so hard to watch, isn't it? That's so hard to watch.
Yeah, it's just... That was a full gun round. And they just... Out the window.
Through the smoke.
It's melted.
Like hot butter.
They were melted, absolutely.
Everyone with 2 kills except MSL on 5.
Well, he is top fragging. That's what you need to do, but you need a little more than that.
You know, if you put Lego in the fire, well, it won't catch fire. It'll just drip.
Why is that?
I guess so it's not, you know, for safety.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Pistols are out, and through the smoke they go again. The bomb is exposed in the middle of the A-bomb site. And Vitality will wait for the remainder to come through. The squeaky door will be open, and RPK will be taken out. Some spray from Apex. Plenty more harassment from his teammate Alex with the AK-47. The high ground as well for OpTic. So awkward for him with the AWP. Could easily overextend. He'll try to... He's waiting for the bomb plant to just bounce a grenade off. Safety first. Running distraction. And there's NBK. All right then. There's another kill for Refresh. But again, we need more than that. We won't get it this time. 9-1 Vitality. They are storming through this half.
Yeah. Their money's out of control. Finding great comfort. It's looking more the case that... It's one of those spots where... What is the story? And the story is... Vitality, it's not that they're playing out of their minds, and that's how they're winning, it's that OpTic are struggling.
They're forcing the agenda. Looks like they're forcing it too much. And with plenty of money in OpTic, none of them, or MSL decides not to get an ult. So, we'll see how this turns out for them. But, again, see, they are spread out now. They're changing up the strategies just a little bit.
It does feel like they've been a mixture of predictable, but also telegraphed when they've gone down to secret, and that every single time Vitality have like the perfect setup. You know, we talked about one of the positions MBK's being afforded, and Alex has been doing a really good job here and helping them to get the information. Look at all the smokes there. This time, there is no T there, and this is more what you want to see, because now you've split off a player who's worried about the outside. Maybe one of these upper attacks will go better now. We'll have to see, because they'll go straight through. RPK's above, there's no molly there, but they will trade it out.
So far, so good for OpTic. 3v3. MBK moving forward. Is he good for a second man? He's done a lot of damage, at least. Alex trying to come up the ladder. Not going to work out for him. Saiwu is going to be subject to another Molotov. He'll have to wait. You'll hear the bomb getting planted. He's got a rough idea of the location. Up he goes. Can he find the right player with the Tech 9? He pulls out the AWP. His barrel might be showing. There it is, a much-needed second round for OpTic. Didn't look like it was likely. It was interesting. They sold a fake outside, but with the smoke from Alex, he had control of secret. So not too much over-rotation was necessary, but they won the right frags. I really thought the player on top of the hut would get 2 kills from that position, but it's awkward for all concerned. Those angles from above, from below, and here we are. OpTic double their score. They could still get 6 rounds out of this. It's not too late for this to turn around. You never know when they could get some momentum, as unlikely as it might look the way the other rounds have gone.
You're in a good spot on Nuke if you can get 6 rounds in T side. Sometimes this map can be heavily CT side if the CTs are on point and rotations are on point. It looks like OpTic's going to continue with the agenda of, you know, slowing kind of a defaulty style, throw the smokes. Again, distraction. Hey, look at us. We're outside.
Oh, Saiwu's there. Don't expect that. Cool to see. And they'll go down secret pretty fast. Is there anybody down there to stop them? All right, so, okay, OpTic finally catching them out of position. Good frag from MBK. Goes to a 3 versus 3, but this is more what you want. This is OpTic adjusting well and outmaneuvering the CTs. We haven't really been seeing this very much.
Molly in the stronger peak position for the CTs. Apex with $9,000. Saiwu with 5. Alex with 4. Beautiful timing on that grenade. And there's some presence shown. That's a deep Molotov towards the double doors. They try to get the 1 versus 1, but there's mollies from both sides. And I think there's that OpTic has wasted so much time that I don't know if Vitality should really go for this anymore, but they seem to want to go for some eliminations. Config will get taken out, but Apex will be taken out as well, and that's going to be that. I think they could have chosen to retreat for the final round just to keep a little more money towards the end there, but that's their decision. I think what's interesting is if we look at the rounds when OpTic have thrown a smoke execute outside and one smoke has been thwarted by a Molotov, I feel like in the rounds, almost every round they were all outside and they were all kind of round T-red when they manually put that other smoke down. But it seemed they were in the same position each time, so I feel like if somebody watched a demo of that, you might see like 2 grenades go behind T-red in such a situation, and it would do so much damage potentially.
It would indeed. Vitality trying to slow down OpTic here. They don't want, obviously you don't want the other team to get too much momentum. And even though OpTic's on a 2-win bonus, they have a 4-round money bonus loss, which I disagree with. But I don't make the game, so I don't have any word in it.
Alright, so can they continue their success? The last 2 rounds of success they've had has been because of how things have gone around Secret, but they're going to be dropping into Apex. No one even looks behind. And now Zywu is going to be able to take full control of the situation. Orbs out, and the round has been crushed. And there's not even a flash for main, nothing. And they've been devastated. What happened there?
That was definitely a bad play on OpTic. As you said, there's no flashes, there's no nothing in Mini. No one even peeks towards Mini. You gotta expect someone to be, I mean, every pug of every match I've ever played, and there's always some person in or near Mini. 100%.
Yeah, especially because the squeaky door's always been blown off.
Yeah.
So what's happened there?
And that's your guy that like is the second guy to support and rotate down lower, or sometimes the only one, depending on how the setup is.
So OpTic should have busted open the door and start throwing flashes or Molotovs in Mini when they're doing that fast Twinkie jump to T-roof or CT Mini.
Perhaps they thought the guy would be closer to squeaky door, focusing on that. Either way, didn't work out, looked terrible. But, well, it goes from bad to worse. MSL taking one in the face. His head being exploded. Config going for a manual play there. Right-click flashbang. So, again, we're not really seeing the team play there. The proper pop flashes. The sound cues, everything. Snappy and Nico remain. Zywu with an off angle. I like the elevation from Nico. Zywu can hit a scope, I'm sure. He's gone past the angle now. Nico scopes again. Zywu has the information. Nico doesn't. Scope, scope, scope. That's one of the 2 players, you know where he is. Surely he has the scope.
Yeah, I think he's looking for a teammate to come through.
Oh dear.
This works as well. Goodbye, Nico. And Snappy left in the 1 versus 4, and he has some time, but I don't know how likely it is he can even get the bomb planted. That would be the first step. And then all the CTs will be forced to go to him. But there it is, been spotted. There's 2 players on him already. Does he try to go down the vents? What does he do here? There's a guy in the vent. Might be the best play to try to jump down and shoot him in the face. We'll take down the player on the bomb side, but he's not really got time here. And Zywu doesn't need to peek him. He doesn't need to commit. He's just shouldering the angle because he knows that if he just slows down Snappy, he's got no choice but to plant. It lets the guy from the vent up. There it is. Apex comes out, and there it is. Or Alex, I should say. And it's done. Oh, it was Apex, actually. So 11-3, Vitality. That play, you're right. Like, just the config, it seems like desperation. I'm going to try to flash my way forwards. And the flash was bad as well. Didn't do anything. And so it actually had an adverse effect because it gave a warning to Apex that he was coming. So, running out of ideas pretty quickly.
Oh, here comes the smokes again. Oh my goodness. His crosshair placement is so good. Like, he knows that someone's going to jump there and someone jumps there. How does he do it? Galaxy brain. I want to know what Zywu's IQ is.
Galaxy brain. In the UK, Galaxy is a chocolate bar.
Oh.
So you made me think of chocolate bar brain.
Is it
and
good,
it's like
though?
the cheap chocolate as well.
Oh.
Not really, no. It's like better than Hershey's. American chocolate sucks, but Ours sucks a little less. 4v4, we've got an exchange of frags both sides, but it's all advantage Vitality. They are so close to making it to LAN, to Nando's. They're a few rounds from Nando's point.
I don't know what you just said.
Nando's is chicken. It's a popular chicken restaurant in the UK. And everybody likes some Nando's, apart from people who are plebs.
12-3, Vitality looking really strong. We'll take a quick break, but when we'll be back, we'll see if Vitality can close it out and make it book their spot at the finals in Webley, or if OpTic will bring it back home.
Now the times are changing, we're standing in the line. By the by, we'll get through this. Side by side, we'll walk through this together.
Map 3, final half, OpTic. They've only got 3 rounds. That's all they could muster in their first half. A lackluster T side, to say the least. And Vitality are in prime position to capitulate, to compound the issue for OpTic, and to book themselves a spot at the finals in London.
It's being Nuke, however. If they can survive the pistol, OpTic, then maybe they have a dominant CT side as well. The T side was horrific. There were things to be desired in terms of the approach around that main position, or the mini position, if you will. But now all those things have gone. Those things are history. They have the luxury of the angles of the map control, but first they must survive the pistol. Mostly going towards the ramp position. First player jumping, trying to just take the crosshairs away, and he'll do that for a time. And so will his teammates behind him. There's no trade just yet. Alex will finally get there, but is it too little too late?
Yeah, they can slow this down. That's what they're going to do. Just trying to catch CTs out of position, maneuvering around. And it's really important to get the next kills here. Apex didn't take any damage, did some good damage actually. Alex has picked up one more. Now they're starting to look favorable. Alex has found his way to heaven, and this might really start to throw some question marks with over a minute left to go. With what exactly are Vitality up to? Apex might try to get into the vent and go upper. We'll have to see as the CTs are holding these corners. And here comes the peak. Nice headshot from Apex. And now they've brought it back to a 2 versus 2. The bomb has been planted, but there's the execution from Nico. Apex now just has to chase it up, and he can't finish it off. But it was a good effort.
That was almost a bloater by OpTic there. Nice shots from Vitality to bring it back. OpTic kind of spreading out maybe a little too much individual peeking in that 4-on-2. Keep it together, peek together. Work together.
It's crazy how few frags the OpTic guys have.
Well, that's what happens when you have a poor T-side.
Yeah, struggled pretty hard.
Struggle bus is real.
Snappy having a look towards the ramp. Pistols for Vitality. As you can see, as is standard, the door is no more. Doors are hated on Nuke, especially on the upper bomb site. They are constantly vandalized to great expense. And Vitality will try to force their way in. Refresh has been taken out, but there isn't a crossfire. Config moving around with his knife out. Seems that, well, maybe not. Okay, it's a constantly developing situation. We've got a deagle kill from ZywOo. And how? I don't know how, but we're in a 2 versus 2. We are on the cusp of catastrophe. Nico gets his bell rung, but only for 16 HP. Tags again. He's just running distraction now while Config tries to creep in. But Nico's the one with a kit. Goes past the vent. Config on the bomb, pulling players away, but he's sprayed through the smoke. And his teammate's not far behind him. 13-4 for Vitality. A catastrophe. A 4K from ZywOo. Past the baguettes.
One digs are king. Oof, that was such a nice shot by ZywOo. That was a key one too. Kind of put Config and Nico in odd spots when that ramp guy got killed. Really just took the distraction away and it enabled Vitality to focus on that lower guy who came from outside.
That's the worst thing that could have happened for OpTic. It's a Lovecrafty nightmare unfolding before their eyes. Nowhere left to turn but to force back. And if they lose this, it's going to really take a turn for the worst. They'll be effectively playing against championship point. Or qualification point, I should say. It's not really exactly a championship, I suppose. But
it's Nando's point down. We discussed this just a few minutes ago.
Sorry.
You don't have to apologize, man. Don't let James bully you.
Eventually he'll get taken off the internet for bullying, and we'll all be better off.
Apparently you can't say idiots on Twitch now.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I'm going to definitely say it immediately. This is just definitely happening.
Well, I already said it to you the other day, the first day you came back.
You can ban me now. Like on my own stream, I mean, I'm not about to call professional players idiots. I would never do such a thing.
So, oh, good stuff from Snappy. Picks himself up 2. The headshot can't quite be found there. He's looking for it. He was on for it, I felt like, but no. Refresh. He's got the goods, however, as he picks up an upgrade as well. The Galil in hand. And RPK's weakened. There's no kit, though, for Refresh. They will take him. Well, he'll have to close the distance very quickly. And you can see he's already in a good position as he makes his way to control room. But I doubt the glass is smashed. So unless it is, there's no way he can enter the bomb site and still maintain his element of surprise. Indeed, the glass looks intact. And can he find a player? No, they are obscured completely. This is such a problem. Now they know exactly where he is. He will pick up the first frag. Where's the trade fragger? From below, 14-4. Vitality pick it up. And it's an eco situation for OpTic now.
Can they afford to do that? Well, so many ways you can use the word afford right now for OpTic. This has been a disastrous game of Counter-Strike for them after a comeback post losing their own pick, and indeed it will be the force by 3 UMPs for OpTic trying to stop Nando's point for Vitality, who are out with the SMGs. There is not a lack of helmets, so we've got 4 helmets on the 5 players of OpTic. Only Nico at range with the Scout doesn't have one, and Vitality are at pace through Secret. Moving towards the B bomb site. No one really in position. They've got the vents. Apex clearing control. One player towards the ramp. But what can one really expect to do with a UMP in this situation?
Vitality have completely outpositioned OpTic. This is a huge problem. Smoked out. Molotoved out. Oh, that is a great shot onto Apex. And with Apex unable, well, dead, he's unable to pressure and delay this CT presence as it comes in from the ramp. But it's a nice shot by RPK to take control of the situation. Someone had to step it up. And now OpTic will send the remainder in to try to take this one back. The Cyber can't get around the corner. Oh my god, that flash was in his... I've never seen a flash so in your face.
The 3-man spray down from Alex! And that's going to be that. That's an absolutely ridiculous turnaround of 4K in just a few seconds. They all lined up for him, they took a ticket, and he served them pretty damn quickly. That was ridiculous. Great start with the scout. It looks good for OpTic, but look at this turnaround. 1, 2, 3, get out of my house!
Wow. What a lineup.
That took the wind out of their sails.
Oh, those shotties out though. Max 7. Whenever you see Max 7, that just tells you everything. It's desperate times.
I'd rather have an auto shotty than Max 7 these days.
Just give me anything else. So unreliable.
There's an auto shotty. So I like to see up close and personal. Take their names, take the checks. Eagle gets spammed. Demis is there to capitalize.
Upgrades to an AK as well. Flashbacks in. Auto shotguns at the ready. There you go. It's too easy. 2 players on top of the hut. No Molotov here. There's the auto shotgun back again. 2 versus 2. Nico with the scout. He's got to deliver. He will. That's 1 easy kill for him. He makes it look easy anyway. And now Alex in the clutch.
He knows one player's above him, but where is the other one? Leaves the door open. 64 HP. Oh, Snappy waits. He's patient. He knows Alex might make a forward play to try and even the numbers quickly, and he'll be rewarded in kind. But there are so many match points for Vitality. No more errors can be made for OpTic. Not any that cost the round anyway. Vitality don't really have the money to keep up the pressure as they might have liked. Refresh with the auto shotgun, making some coin. There at the end, Snappy with the superior angle to keep OpTic alive.
Geometric advantage.
And height advantage. The art of war. Terrain is important.
Yes. A full save from Vitality. I like that. It's on 15 rounds, it makes pretty much no sense to have anything but a full buy. You want to maximize this. You want to maximize the amount of times you can have a full buy. That's your mission. Now, and you also don't care about your opponent's economy. It's specifically that's how you're making your buys work.
So all you need is 1. You just need 1, Dan.
Absolutely. And you should maximize your chance to get the 1. We have 2 PT50s though and a flashbang. $800 spent.
In it goes, config. Oh my days. Ding dong. NBK's been really good with the USPs on Glocks and things like that in a number of rounds. Apex looking for the bonus money. It has just been cannon fodder towards the A bomb site and it's worked. That is mission accomplished. Get that bonus cash. Get those grenades. Fill out your inventory.
Wow. So they spent $800 and they managed to make 5 times that. Well, 4 times I guess net.
$800 total.
Well, they spent $800 because they bought 2
Total.
PT50s and a flashbang. Yeah.
As opposed to per person, just to be
Yeah.
clear.
They spent $800. Nico. All right. Big buy. Zoo on the AWP, of course. What else? Vitality with so many options to go for with their playbook. Looking for any aggressions here. And so already showed that he is want to do that in the previous round, but he's got the AWP now. He's going to go straight to secret. scopes in early in case the T's are close. Doesn't want to give away sound cues. So I think MBK is sort of lining it up in case someone's taking an off angle against the squeaky door position.
Inviting grenades maybe, but no response from OpTic. They've got 4 incendiaries. Nothing doing just yet, but now as everything goes quiet, the windows are broken, the door is blown off. It'll be the dry pigs, dry. Biscuits, no sauce, no drink. And one by one they start to go down. Config with a great angle. 5v3, risks need not be taken, not by the OpTic side. Suggesting a play towards the B bomb site, flashes through the smoke. Nico eats one, we've got one play down in the vent, at the very least it's Saiwu. Awkward, he's got the bomb, MSL missing a shot, that could be crucial.
That's a huge miss, and Saiwu stays alive. And he does get the tag onto Snappy there and makes his way across the plant. So that frag indeed, that missed frag from MSL could be absolutely everything. A favorable 3 versus 3 post plant now. Nico creeping around the back of the vents, trying to make his way to control. Another important 1v1, but there's a smoke down. Alex, is he staring at the smoke? Nico might just have to gamble that he's not. The timing works out, though, perfectly for Nico. And that is such an important risk to take, but it's not over just yet. As Nico jumps up, it's up to Config now. In the 1 versus 2, the flashbang's dropped. He's gonna drop with it. The door is closed. He's got to go chase him. There's no way to do this otherwise. And the flames are there. That's going to be that. 16-6 Vitality are going to LAN.
There's no way they said GG at the end of that. They left way too quick to say GG.
What a beautiful final round. 3 versus 5. And I think that tells the story of Nuke. Essentially, completely dominant first half from Vitality. And it didn't get much better for OpTic in the second. A short comeback, but it was just too much to ask. So many match points for Vitality. It was all but inevitable. Or maybe it was inevitable the way the rounds were going.
Yeah,
great stuff, and congratulations to Vitality. They make it to LAN. They will be in front of the Nando's restaurants. I congratulate them.
OpTic felt like on their T side they just forced way too many unfavorable situations. It's almost thinking like, okay, let's just do this strat, and there's no adjustment in their strats. It's a lot of forced plays, a lot of let's just rush out here and explode. But Vitality, their CT side, they just sat back. They just let that happen because OpTic was literally running into a lot of their stacks and upper or whatever. We only saw very few different kind of strategies come from OpTic. We saw outside smokes, we saw an upper rush, and maybe an outside upper split like once. It's very not as diverse as you think about it. And on the other side, you have Vitality. They were working events, they were slowing it down, they took outside, they took ramp sometimes. Just a lot more diverse playing style from Vitality.
Yeah, I gotta say on T sides, especially with defaults, one of the what you expect from top-level teams is it's like a layered approach in a sense where you have that first layer of map control and then there's additional layers that are added on top of that in ways in which you get map control and ways in which you are able to develop the round and create opportunities to do things and make it hard for the CTs. I think this just goes to show that OpTic are a new team. And there is a lack of structure there, which I think is clearly explainable by the fact that they are so new. And Counter-Strike is a game of effectively, 14 halves. So it's a lot to be covered there. And as expected, Zaiwu at the top of the scoreboard. And nothing else that's too incredible to, I think, highlight, except that MSL struggled again on this map. But it is very hard as an AWP player, honestly.
Yeah, but as a person who used to be a rifler, you could argue that he could be more dynamic than other people who are compelled to pick up the AWP. But there we go. Congratulations to Vitality for making it to London to the finals. Happy with that. I personally cannot wait for some potential stage interviews with Freya and Zaiwu.
Oh yeah, some follow-ups.
I remember.
That is interesting, yeah, because he's very shy and just young and shy. I wonder if like with many players as we see them over the years, it's actually kind of fun to watch the confidence grow. I mean, with a lot of like the original Counter-Strike Go players that were young, like 4 years on now, they're all pretty good with the camera. You start to see the personality flare up a bit more. It's pretty exciting, and that's something I like about CS. I think we have a lot of cool characters.
We do. We need more though.
Need more.
Always need more.
absolutely. So I think we will soon be ready for the HyperX X Factor. And so I'm curious what it will be this time. Yesterday we had
God,
two.
after yesterday,
Yeah.
I can only imagine what we might see today. Yesterday, the last one was 2 Glock kills.
2 Glock kills. That's all it was.
That was what it was.
All right.
It's
So
gonna
we
be
got today.
What do the geniuses in the back have in store for us this time?
ZywOo. Go figure. The top fragger, the big impact
That
player.
was sick.
Cyberfrags. Okay, so you can't really go wrong with that. That's a foolproof way to do the X Factor of the match. Just pick ZywOo, find some of his kills. Let's go.
They could do no wrong in the back, to be honest, after the Glock kills from yesterday. So
True.
congratulations. Proud of you guys.
You're improving.
It's a lot of kills from ZywOo.
Every day we're improving.
He was explosive to AWP. I love that kill when you're AWPing outside and you just look for the jump peak rather than people going wide and you just like, boom. It's like, nope, you can't do that. So nice.
Yeah, you know, another one that's really nice is when you're playing Mirage or Market and people are dropping, like, you know, they're jumping out the ends of the balcony down towards the van. You just see just the legs. That was really satisfying to connect as well.
It's a nice one. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's not easy, but it's
Yeah.
nice.
Right, so we are ready to take a look at the leaderboard. Now we've come to the end of this week. Let's see how things stand. Right, so yeah, a Vanguard up there as far as the money goes. And remember, so yeah, the teams that are qualified have been taken out. So these are the teams. This is where the standings are with the honeys. Obviously, Vitality have qualified, so they're the exception there. But a Vanguard looking like they're in a great position. We can expect that. They've made some deep runs, so they'll likely make it forwards and qualify. OpTic as well in a good position. NIP, Mousesports, they haven't been too present, and partially I think it's because of the new roster and going to some lands and so on.
Yeah,
They
they've
love
been on the road, I
potential.
suppose. Hopefully building with their new roster as well, so we'll see what they can do, if anything, in the weeks to come.
I think they
Indeed.
can. They look good when they first started off. Kerrigan is really good at bringing that foundation, that base to the team. I mean, his problem is not that his teams are bad. Is like when it comes to the finals, the pressure. Can Kerrigan, break out from his shell instead of
We'll have
crumbling?
to see. I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing more of that team in the future.
Yes, it's interesting. It's completely different in terms of chemistry and personality. Really looking forward to seeing their evolution. Speaking of which, we still have more Counter-Strike coming your way. I was almost feeling like, oh, it's the end, we're showing the leaderboard, but no, there is more. We have to also crown a winner this week for North America. So we're going to a quick break. But before we do that, this is an excellent time for you guys to check out the tickets, because the tickets are on sale, of course. It's very important you get yourself down to London. It's a great excuse if you've never been before. ECS.faceit.com. Come and watch some of the best Counter-Strike in the world. James Bottoff will be there, so you can, if you're a fan, you can get. Maybe he'll
Take pictures with James.
Maybe he'll appear and you can take a picture
As
of him.
for autographs,
I'll definitely appear.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, good.
That's going to happen.
That's good. All
grace him with your presence.
Confirmed.
I'll do my best.
Okay, well, with that said, we'll go to a quick break. We'll be back with the North American final for this week.